Welcome back to Top 10 According to AI, the channel where we explore the most intriguing lists curated by artificial intelligence. Today, we're delving into a politically charged topic, the top 10 worst presidents of all time. Remember, this list is subjective and based on various sources, so don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments below. And before we dive in, be sure to impeach that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on our latest videos. Let's get started.
Now watch this drive.
Starting off our list of the worst presidents, we have Richard Nixon. The 37th U.S. president is ranked among the worst presidents primarily due to the Watergate scandal, which led to his resignation and a loss of public trust in the government.
Well, I'm not a crook.
Additionally, his handling of the Vietnam War, domestic surveillance of political opponents, and economic struggles during his time in office contributed to his negative reputation. Despite some achievements, such as opening relations with China and establishing the EPA, Nixon's controversies and scandals largely overshadow his accomplishments, resulting in his placement among the least effective presidents.
These terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
George W. Bush, the 43rd U.S. president, is often ranked as the 9th worst president on our countdown due to the controversial invasion of Iraq, which was based on the belief that Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction that were never found. Additionally, his administration's inadequate response to Hurricane Katrina, his economic policies that contributed to the Great Recession, and the implementation of controversial policies like the USA Patriot Act and the Guantanamo Bay detention camp, which some argue undermine civil liberties and human rights, contribute to his ranking. John Tyler, the 10th U.S. president, is often ranked as the 8th worst president on our countdown due to his lack of political support from both major political parties of the time, the Whigs and the Democrats, which hindered his ability to enact policies and garner support. His controversial support for the annexation of Texas heightened sectional tensions between the North and South, contributing to the eventual outbreak of the Civil War. Additionally, his frequent use of the presidential veto and contentious relationship with Congress limited his effectiveness in office, making him one of the least impactful presidents. Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th U.S. president, is often ranked as the 7th worst president on our countdown due to the numerous corruption scandals that marred his administration, such as the Whiskey Ring and the Credit Mobilier scandal. Although Grant was not directly implicated in these scandals, they severely tarnished his administration's reputation. Additionally, his handling of Reconstruction is criticized for being undermined by corruption and a lack of resources, while his commitment to the gold standard contributed to the Panic of 1873. Grant's outstanding military leadership during the Civil War contrasts with his less effective political leadership, which contributed to his ranking on our countdown. Herbert Hoover, the 31st U.S. president, is ranked as the 6th worst president due to his inadequate response to the Great Depression, his commitment to limited government intervention in the economy, his heavy-handed handling of the Bonus Army protesters, and his perceived aloofness and inability to communicate effectively with the public. These factors combined to create a negative public sentiment and a perception of Hoover as ill-equipped to handle the economic crisis, leading to his ranking on our countdown. Millard Fillmore, the 13th U.S. president, is ranked as the 5th worst president due to his support for the Compromise of 1850, which included the highly controversial Fugitive Slave Act. This legislation intensified sectional tensions between the North and South, further dividing the nation over the issue of slavery. Fillmore's inability to effectively address this critical issue and his support for such divisive legislation contribute to his ranking as the 5th worst president on our countdown. Warren G. Harding, the 29th U.S. president, is ranked as the 4th worst president due to his administration's pervasive corruption and scandals, such as the Teapot Dome scandal, which involved the fraudulent leasing of government oil reserves to private companies. Harding's lackluster leadership and inability to effectively manage his administration further tarnished his reputation. His appointments of unqualified friends and associates to key government positions contributed to a widespread perception of incompetence and cronyism, leading to his ranking as the 4th worst president on our countdown. Franklin Pierce, the 14th U.S. president, is ranked as the 3rd worst president due to his ineffective leadership in addressing the growing sectional crisis over slavery. Pierce's support for the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which allowed territories to decide whether to permit slavery, led to increased tensions and violence between pro- and anti-slavery factions. His inability to provide strong, unifying leadership during this critical period in American history, along with his failure to address the nation's most pressing issues, contribute to his ranking as the 3rd worst president on our countdown. Andrew Johnson, the 17th U.S. president, is ranked as the second worst president due to his contentious relationship with Congress and mishandling of Reconstruction after the Civil War. Johnson's lenient policies towards former Confederate states, along with his resistance to granting civil rights to newly freed African Americans, led to increased racial tensions and the rise of the Ku Klux Klan. His constant clashes with Congress resulted in his impeachment, making him the first president to face removal from office. Johnson's divisive presidency and failure to effectively address the challenges of Reconstruction contribute to his ranking as the second worst president on our countdown. James Buchanan, the 15th U.S. president, is ranked as the worst president ever due to his failure to address the escalating crisis over slavery and his inability to prevent the secession of Southern states, which ultimately led to the Civil War. Buchanan's indecisive leadership and appeasement of pro-slavery factions exacerbated sectional tensions, while his inaction in the face of the secession crisis allowed the situation to spiral out of control. His weak and ineffective presidency is widely seen as having played a significant role in the onset of the deadliest conflict in American history, contributing to his ranking as the worst president ever. There you have it, the top 10 worst presidents of all time according to AI. Keep in mind that this list is subjective, and different opinions will undoubtedly arise. So, what do you think? Do you agree with our AI-generated list, or would you change the order or add other presidents? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to Top 10 According to AI for more fascinating insights from the world of artificial intelligence. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.